Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of our podcast, The Breakfast Burrito, featuring your hosts, JC Berlin and.
Jose Luis Bautista with our special guest, Francine San Jose.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello,
anyways.
Fran.
Hey, Fran, what's up?
Yeah.
Um, I want to talk about how I've been a little sad,
Oh,
because
Yeah,
okay.
okay, sure.
is that a bad starter?
No, we don't.
No, of course not.
We're open to everything.
No, waking up to a rainy day is actually more cozy.
True.
Okay, anyways, so I've been thinking about how, distance and how it affects friendships. Because no matter how they say, that distance makes the heart grow fonder, it
Mm-hmm.
instead it's got me thinking no, it actually just creates more space. Because for
That's
example,
true.
I left OB and then I went to Ateneo, and then as much as I called best friends in OB best friends,
Yeah.
they ended up not staying the same. And of course, you end up getting closer to people who are near to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I got closer to the squad, but then my old friends, they got closer to each other. And
Without you.
so yeah, so it got kind of I can't help but compare, like no matter how much longer I've been friends with this one person, it's just because this other person was there, it seems like they now click more, and they've been through a lot together.
Mhm.
And so it's got me wondering, okay, now that I left Ateneo, what's gonna happen to the people I've gotten close to there? And then what's
Okay.
gonna happen now that in USD I don't really have a set group of people yet. I might cry, but yes.
It's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Just
it's understandable for you to think about what might happen with your friends in your previous in Ateneo, but one thing's for sure. I mean, we're your friends from Ateneo, and we're here.
Yeah.
You're a special guest in our podcast, which
Yes.
means a lot to us to have you in our
We don't just
podcast.
invite anyone.
Yeah, we know it. You know, so
yeah.
I don't think you should be scared about the fact that we because we'll always be in touch. You're always if you're still in the Philippines, we'll find you guys.
So you're gonna visit me,
Probably. Hope I don't know.
please, on my birthday. That will be very
Oh,
nice.
yeah. But also, it's nice to think then with distance among friends, there's also the factor of maturity. So maybe back then you were what, 16 years old, 15 years old?
Yeah.
Maybe at that age we're more likely to seek more an independence, right? I mean, not all of us, but there's certainly a difference in the bonds that you form when you're 15 compared to when you're 17 or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe it's you get more the relationships you form much earlier in life can be can tend to be more superficial when you tend to grow old and know what you want or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
uh, what you want to have in a friend. You get more selective as you grow older, and it's harder for you to have a really good friendship. Yeah,
So you're saying as you get older, your friendship group really shrinks.
yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
and you can see more of what you want to have in a friend, and you're able to recognize more deeply the bond between a friend as you get older. Because when you're younger, it's all about, just having fun.
Yeah,
There's not much emotional connection. But say you're what, 19 and going through some difficult times, living alone in your dorm in Quezon City, and the people who you meet in Ateneo, they're there to comfort you
yeah.
compared to your friends in Pampanga who you just what play with. I don't know
Or
what you do in the
you
province.
you hang out with when you just go home, but they never really you never really think about them when you're here in Quezon City. Maybe it's a different thing. But I guess you're right about the location thing because
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm like kind of scared of. Because like even now I can feel like even though yeah we've got the podcasting, there
Yeah.
are times when I still feel distant. Like things are really changing. I mean, you've got other people now, and I've also got other people, and I just like sometimes I'm afraid of what's gonna happen. That's all,
You're afraid of change.
and being replaced.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're all in like going through a new stage of our life right now. Even if it's in this really weird situation, change is happening. We have to accept the fact na, you know, I mean, Pampanga to QC is different from QC to Manila. The distance isn't that far. You could say that. So I think you should have, um, you should understand that we're there for you, even though, you know, we're kind of not near you anymore. But I
Yeah.
think you should relish, because people grow. You're in uncomfortable situations. So I think you're in an uncomfortable situation right now where you can grow.
Okay,
Yeah,
but what about now though, in the context of the pandemic? Because going to each other isn't really possible anymore. I mean, if you're willing to take the risk, and we have to also understand that what was once normal isn't going to be normal anymore. So we have a new normal that's shaping in front of us. So how do you think friendships should go like?
I think that's hard to tell because like for example right now it's kind of seems like an extended summer. So the thing is some people have the habit of just isolating and just doing their own thing.
Yeah,
But but the thing is, it's gonna be a long while till we go back to the. We probably won't even go back to the way things were.
yeah,
So you really have to figure out how you want to maintain friendships. But then keeping in mind that like you don't have to talk to someone every day
Yeah, that's true.
for
that's
you
true.
to remain close with them. But there has to be something to at least keep that emotional bond, right?
I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, you could say that we're blessed to be like online. We could still communicate with our friends, but it's still hard because you can't see each other face to face. And the closest thing we can do is Zoom meetings and video calls, but it still doesn't encapsulate what you feel like when you're together with a
With
friend.
them,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
hard.
problem nga. It's a whole new different environment.
We have to
And
adapt.
I myself, I can't even last like real conversations except for this podcast. So I'm not really
I
sure if
haven't
it's taking an effect on my friendships as well. So,
I haven't had a real conversation in like a long while.
oh, this
Sad.
being the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I've been studying a lot, so
Maybe that's the reason. 'Cause you still have online school. You had so much time to like just think about other things. Maybe that's what's like
yeah.
bothering you.
No, I think it was good because I was like distracted for a
Mhm.
while. Like if I didn't have the online classes, I think I would have been thinking about a lot of other stuff. So I don't know what's gonna happen once we're done with exams. Like I'm gonna make a lot of plans with you guys, that's for sure. So
But
yeah,
but there's the pandemic. What about what plans?
Online
maybe we're
plans.
gonna
Yeah.
Netflix party or
Oh, right, right.
Uno
Oh, yeah, that's a
again.
new thing.
Yeah,
It's the new culture, Netflix
Hmm.
party.
Yeah. So many people are using it now, and yeah, there's like a certain hype to it. There are other platforms that have the same functionality as Netflix Party, where you can watch YouTube videos or other platforms, but it's still has the function of being a place where you can simultaneously watch things with your friends. And I don't you guys miss just seeing things together IRL.
Yeah.
It's, it's
Speaking of, Fran, how's your dating life? In this pandemic.
What dating? Like,
I don't know
still
your
talk
relationship or
about?
something.
yeah, how have you maintained your really close relationships?
All
Oh, my
right,
relationship
Fran
people.
is
Yes.
single, right? Yeah, my bad. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Before I had to do all these online classes, I think what I mostly kept doing was like the calls and then the random Una sessions. But then
Yeah,
mostly, I
Yeah,
think I enjoyed the Netflix party most because imagine like all of us watching the same thing, commenting different stuff. Because I don't know how you guys are when you watch something. If you're quiet, because me, I make a lot of comments. So I think I'm excited for that after the
uh,
full online classes thing.
actually, there's something weird about that guy. Kasi there's this person I've been having a lot of Netflix parties with, and I noticed something different. Because at first we were just using the chat function, so you're just typing. But when you're typing something, it's easier to comment. Like
yeah.
whenever something's happened, you can type simultaneously and still understand what's happening on the film. But if it's a call, like we've been doing recently, it's harder.
This is
And
lag.
no, more of like dividing your attention. Like if you want to comment something, you have to pause the
Pause.
video because yeah, you have to speak and speaking takes effort. So it's weird. Yeah.
But you call while you watch? Because I don't really call while watching in a Netflix party. Like, I just try to type as fast as I can while
Yeah,
watching. But, like, not call. Because I feel like I'd be too distracted.
exactly. Yeah, it's weird.
I mean,
So
maybe you're like trying to like when you want to video call someone while you're watching something, maybe you're trying to simulate what you do when you watch in a cinema, for
mm,
example. And it's
yeah,
just harder because you have to look to the side to see if you really talk to someone, but I mean, it applies because you're video calling someone. Kind of weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Fran,
How have you been handling the relationships?
oh, well, I haven't been handling them super well. I've still been like trying to adapt to it as much as I can because, you know, um, sometimes my parents make me do lots of things because my house is messy. So we have to fix some things. But I try to balance it as much as possible with my personal time. Like right now, usually this is my time where I just sit outside and use my phone because I like the weather outside. Because we're in a subdivision and it's kind of safe because there's no one there. And then I have a street lamp near me, so it's kind of dramatic how the lamps goes on me while I'm sitting there using my phone. So I try to adapt as much as possible because I want to like socialize, but it's hard to socialize.
Yeah.
It's hard because me especially, it's harder for me to socialize because my block is all boys. It's one of those things. It's a
How
Yeah.
recurring.
is it harder to socialize with boys compared to
No, I
girls?
mean, no offense
What?
to them, but they're the type of boys to not socialize.
Uh,
Coming from a computer science course, it's just something you have to like deal with because you're interested in computer science, but at the same time you want to socialize with other people, but you end up not meeting as much people as you wanted to because you're limited to your block and you're not the most fun
Or
people. Not fun, maybe spontaneous. Yeah, you're not that spontaneous, I think. So I haven't had much meaningful conversations with any of them except a few people, but yeah, it's hard.
oh, you're like Fran. As far as I've
yeah,
heard, Fran's like that. Fran,
How
can you
about you,
share
Fran?
something to Bao?
we've always talked about this. We have the exact same experiences,
Yeah.
except the part. I can go to the spontaneous outings, but I just don't vibe with them. So it
Yeah.
ends up being kind of
Why don't you think you
point.
vibe? Why don't you vibe with them?
Do they not like you?
No.
Is it because you're English speaking?
Yes.
I mean, you're a proficient Filipino
Nah, she's
speaking.
not.
I think.
It's it's not just speaking in Tagalog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Hi,
get
Fran,
you.
can you say
Different-
malala?
No.
Say
What?
malala.
The word
Malala.
the word
Malala. Yeah, intense.
malala.
Say it.
Yeah, see, it's
Oh,
not
it's
bad.
better.
See,
2 years ago,
UST
you'd
has
say it
made
like
her,
malala.
you know, understand more
No,
things.
but it's not that I can't speak their language. It's that they just find things funny that I don't find funny.
No, it's a
And so they're all
culture
gonna be laughing.
culture
Yeah,
clash.
yeah, it's culture. Yeah, exactly. It's like they've all have the same, I don't know, what's the word? Same
Mindset.
personality.
Mind. I've
It's
Habitus.
There's a person from Ateneo who's oh wait, actually let's not name drop people. But it's just mixing up two very different people and expecting them to get along.
I guess you're right.
That's me with a lot of them.
I mean, how have you like handled that? Because I've tried to like join orgs, but it hasn't been much. It hasn't been. I don't vibe with some orgs. I regret like giving 100 sign up because I didn't invest my time in the orgs, but I've tried and it hasn't bared fruit. So what did you do?
We don't have orgs, so pretty much the only way is if we don't have classes and it's time for a night out.
You meet
Yeah,
people
that's
outside?
usually it's like they like to party, and
Oh,
so
don't you
that's
like the
usually
party?
no, I don't. I like staying at home and reading books. So if I do hang out with them, it's like that's the only time that I can try to talk, and I do try to talk. But then once that whole setting is over and we go back to school, it's like the day after they talk about what happened, and then that's it. It's like the days pass and then nothing. It's like you can't think of anything else to talk about because it was a one-time only thing,
So
and then the next party happens, next thing happens.
Don't you
most
have
of the
Yeah,
anything in
conversations you
common?
had are like small talk.
but yeah, it's like the morning after they talk about all the funny stuff that happened. That's the only time they can properly like talk to me like, "Oy, friend, something, something, something," and then later on they're like I don't know, we just ignore each other because we don't know what to say.
Sad.
Don't you have anything in common with any of them?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, let's say one of them's from Pampanga, but then it's like I try to talk to this person,
Yeah.
but then it's just a very different personality. So she can't. I mean, this person can't talk to me either because the person also doesn't know what to say because
So
we're just from very different backgrounds.
you could say you're both on like a different wavelength. You're not on the same
Yeah,
wavelength as people like name
yeah.
drop. It's hard.
That's the reason why like I always like going back to Ateneo because most of the people there are my wavelength. Like you can bring me to your friends and
White
I'll be like, oh hi,
Filipinos.
yeah, I'll be like, hi, what's up? And then boom, French.
Yeah, that's
Can't do
actually
that.
true. Every day I
Can't do
spend
that,
at
bro.
Ateneo, you can meet people and just vibe out of nowhere. It's weird.
Yeah,
So you
everyone's
could
just
say that it's
like,
more diverse. It's more diverse in Ateneo compared to UST.
no, I'm saying there's one personality that I vibe most with, and they're all in Ateneo.
Uh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't noticed, the one closest friend I have is super bagay for Ateneo as well.
yeah, that's true. Well,
Yeah.
speaking on that, how have you dealt with the culture shock of besides the people, you just being in another uh, priest-run school that isn't a Jesuit.
Yeah, with much less trees.
Yeah,
No, honestly, it's not that bad. Like for
Dominican
me,
school.
culture shock means meeting the people. But then I went from OB to from Pampanga to Quezon City, and then like I got to adjust there, and then I went from Quezon City to Manila, which was just kind of the same thing, but less safe because of all the beggars and stuff. But then other than that, the campus still has like trees and a big field. So it was it's still nice, I
Like a
guess.
small piece of home.
Yeah, you can say that, except it doesn't feel like that
Uh,
Oh,
yet.
that's fine.
I mean, it's still
Yeah,
your freshman year. You
Oh,
know.
not
dude,
anymore.
remember? No, yeah, remember grade. Wait, what grade did I? Grade 11.
Yeah.
It's like in that year, I went to so many places. And then the past year, I'm like, where? I didn't. I know I didn't go everywhere in USD because I didn't want to.
Or you had no one to go with.
Probably.
I did. I did. I did. I had,
Okay.
yeah. But then, no, thank you. We would rather go back to Ateneo.
I think it's
Yeah.
a harder place for you to like adjust because you're more attuned to like less crowded places and you're not attuned to the fact that Manila is roads everywhere, cars parked everywhere, and there's just people around smoking, and it's a different culture from Katipunan. You know,
I guess. But I still say it was harder with the people than the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Fran, ever since you went to UST, have there been guys who've been interested in you? You know?
Um. Yeah, one of my classmates. But then I
Oh,
don't.
okay. Tell us about that.
Nothing. I like
you
it.
don't
Just
like
got
them.
around that he was interested. But then
Uh,
I was like, no, I'm good. And then nothing. Like I just never got to talk to the guy. Oh, I talked to him once, but it was a very weird conversation. So we just
Oh,
yeah.
so you
what
weren't
what
on the
high school
same.
was he from?
But
What high school was he from?
he was also from, is it, yeah, senior high. So that
Ateneo?
personality. No, in UST.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. I
Well,
don't know the personality, but okay. Yeah.
I mean, I understand, like, because I have friends from UST Senior High, and they're like a total different group of people. Could say that because they're the type of people to like hang out in bars and stay until 11 on a weekday every day.
Mhm.
But don't Athenians do that?
Yeah, but I don't think on a weekday.
We like to study.
I mean, I can't generalize, but they're just a different group of people. Sometimes you don't feel comfortable with them, but they have their own thing. It's hard to like relate.
Get
Yeah. So, how has online class been for you? How have you focused?
it was. I don't know. I think it was good, like for us that they. I mean, but then I'm not like not considering the ones who don't have the resources.
Yeah.
This is just my experience. So for me, like the month before they implemented the online classes, I was like super lazy and they kept releasing all these lectures and I was like, I'm not gonna touch those because I don't think anything's gonna happen. But then the online classes started and they're like, okay, you have tests every week, and that's when I got motivated. So for me, I think it was good because like I got to keep up with the lessons for first year. Because like for us, you can't just go to second year without learning all the lessons from first year. Like it's like skipping pre-cal and going straight to calculus. it's like you miss
You
a
don't really
foundation.
need pre-cal for calculus.
Oh, okay, that's not a good
Honestly.
example, but like, you get what I mean. Like you just
Okay, yeah.
you can't go to the next step, basically, and so that's
They
the
all
reason why
build on
they.
each other.
Yeah, so like that's the reason why we had to take this class, and I liked it because now I feel like I really learned something as compared to when we didn't have it. But yeah,
So you could see you were pressured to study because it was graded and you needed it for school. So the fact that you were doing it, you felt this quarantine felt productive for you, and it kind of felt good doing stuff instead of not doing stuff.
yeah, because you know what? In one of our, oh, I didn't tell you. In one of our classes, we have to download a lockdown browser. So
Mhm.
basically, what happens with that is you can't open other tabs, and it takes a
Oh,
video of you as you're taking
it's
the.
a browser of itself.
It's like it's an I don't know if it's an app or something, but you
Or
have to
is
open
it
it.
like Google Chrome or something, but more restricted?
Yeah, but
Yeah, probably.
What is it
yeah,
called?
like you can't open lockdown responders. I think
So sad. Okay.
I don't know. It's a USD thing, but yeah, you can't open another tab, and they take a video of you while you're taking the test, and they check if like there are notes around you. So you really can't open anything at all. Otherwise, like our prof, like he's like super strict with cheating, so we will file a case against you, and you will make sure you get suspended or expelled. So yeah, we had that for one of our subjects, and I liked that as well because I feel like I learned a lot. You know.
Because you're forced to
Yeah.
not cheat.
Yeah, because I mean it's unavoidable when it's like you're in a crisis and you want to open your notes, you can't focus. But then here you really have to focus. So
Mm. Do you have actual live lectures like on Zoom?
yeah, we had in another subject we will have to meet every Thursday to discuss our
Yeah.
worksheets, and then we all had it was like a question and answer kind of thing every Thursday.
Uh-huh.
So if you have to like, there's literally a setting where you have to raise your hand, and then the prof says, "Okay, you," and then they have like a blackboard to write on and stuff. Yeah, we had that.
So wait, is the workload with physical classes still the same as your workload right now, or is it a bit lighter?
No, it was like a lot less, and even our exams, they like removed some of the topics of the coverage,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's much less. Yeah, so they're still considerate. It's just that you're still graded, and that's what people are complaining about. But then I like it
Yeah.
because most of us have perfect scores because most of our tests can be open notes. So and it's gonna be part of the grading for the summa cum laude thing
Wow.
when we graduate.
Oh, you're aiming for that?
Wow.
I'm aiming
Aim
for
high, I
honors.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Mm.
We believe in you.
When is
We
yours
believe in you.
starting?
June 9. Just a few
It's
weeks
our
away.
intercession. So
Yeah.
it's like summer school. You have like 2 weeks just to take 6 units for summer. I don't know, during summer, usual summer.
Yeah. I think I'm learning a foreign language. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm learning environmental science. Cool. Yeah,
Nice.
because we had like 5 choices. It was either material science, environmental science, public health, are you managing hospitals? And then there were these two like computer science courses. Nah, I wasn't interested in. Yeah, be fun.
Wait, but is it like I don't you have to explain it to someone who's a complete noob and doesn't know anything that's happening. Like what how long is this intercession and why do you get to choose what you get to learn? Is this connected to your course or is this just something that's added on so you can learn other things aside from your course? And why is it necessary?
Well, intercession is just summer classes. So ideally, if there were no lockdown, intersession lasts 2 months or a month.
Yeah, a month.
A month, yeah. And in intercession, you just take subjects that's related to your course and a few and core subjects as well.
Yeah, because
I
sometimes you
think,
can't take the whole. Because sometimes some courses, some units for next year have prerequisites, and you have to take it either during the year before or during intercession. So that's why they had intercession because they didn't want to overload the academic
oh
year.
yeah.
So they offloaded it to the summer, so you could do some
Hmm.
units.
Yeah, so Fran, for example, how many units did you take in your first year, first semester?
I honestly don't remember. I know it was 20 plus,
Oh,
like 27 or something.
oh, that's a lot.
That's a
Okay,
lot.
for example, me, I only took 18 to 20 units, and I think intercession helps with lessening down the units as well. So I am just more chill in the school year.
Yeah, I took 20 to 22 units, and it was a really fun schedule no first sem because
Yeah,
I every MWF I used to come to school from 1 to 5, and
one
during
to three.
TTH 1 to and TTH was just 8 to 12 or 8 to 1.
Yeah,
So it's pretty cheap, chill
and then
schedule.
intercession is 6 units,
6 to 9 units.
6 to 9 units. So yeah, and you took 27 something, around 27. So
Yeah.
I see
if
the
you had
difference.
intercession,
Yeah.
it would be lighter.
But the only problem with intercession is it feels like you don't have summer because you're studying the whole
Yeah,
school.
I
You're
honestly
studying the whole
don't mind
year.
it.
I don't mind it.
But you have nice schedule, so it doesn't really matter. And you get to skip your classes. We don't have that
Yeah,
option.
Oh yeah, I
the
heard
cuts.
UST can't. You're like in an old classroom setting where you just stay in your room. Just teachers come in.
Yeah. I mean, we transfer only if there's lab, but then basically from 7 a.m. to sometimes 7 p.m.,
Uh,
we're in the same classroom.
So what, do you decorate your classrooms like in high school?
yeah.
Like, oh,
No.
we are section B2, something like that.
Honestly, it was like senior high all over again. We go to school, then we go outside to have lunch. Sometimes we go outside the campus,
Oh God,
Oh
and then we go
man,
back.
so sad.
That's it.
so sad.
That's why don't complain because I want your schedule.
Oh
For
man,
real.
I guess we're lucky. You have like a
Yeah,
more
I have.
student-oriented system for
Yeah,
studying.
like for
You want
example,
more? Sorry. Okay, so
my second semester schedule, I only have one class every Tuesday. So only go to school 11 to 12:30. But then I just stay anyway, so I can study in the library and do all the things I need. So yeah,
Yeah, so it's cool because you have so much time that sometimes you're just forced to study and forced to be productive. Because
yeah.
there's some units where you have to like bear down and do your work. And when you're given the time as a responsible adult, you have to do it. You know?
And you usually spend those times with people, and maybe that's why I got close with friends.
Yeah, but me and
how do
Fran
you
are on the same boat.
Oh yeah.
but how do you feel about how like most of the perceptions that I've heard from other schools and some of my friends that I've had who are not from Ateneo, like our perception is like the people in Ateneo they drink all day.
Oh, I mean, we have the choice to. We can.
We can.
I mean, I think I've had.
No, there are people who do that, who drink all day. I've had that in one occasion where we had the 3 hour break, so I went to
Yeah,
the
we have
nearest
3 hour breaks.
location in Katip because Katip's just opposite us. Then just take a chill pill, and then I went to class back. But it didn't actually affect my
Mm.
learning abilities. It was some fun. But I don't think we all drink the whole day. I've never heard anyone.
Yeah, and above all that, we all took the asset. And asset is pretty selective. And the people who get an Ateneo are the ones with good grades. So, I mean, we do drink every day, but we still care about our grades. Yeah.
But I know that there are people who got in and they didn't pass the asset. Like, I know
Oh,
for a
well,
fact
Yeah, that's true.
there
what
I
are
about
mean,
the
people like
money?
that.
that's the money. I heard someone
Not fair.
had stocks in some building. That's why they got in. 'Cause they paid for a part of a building to get maintained. I don't know. There's so I mean, there's that aspect of people getting in because they're rich. Like, isn't that because doesn't that happen in any school? Like under the table deals. I've heard that happen in UST. Like they pay the players under the table.
No, yeah, I know. I'm not saying that like the only reason I'm against it is because like I wanted to go to Ateneo. That's the only reason I'm bitter, honestly. Because
Uh-huh.
that should be me, but instead the slot goes to someone who doesn't deserve it. So yeah.
Yeah, we get that. I mean,
But you passed Ateneo.
you passed Ateneo. We
What?
all passed Ateneo.
You passed
Yeah,
Ateneo, right?
yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
so
well,
proud of it.
Yeah.
you didn't go there anyway.
Oh, man. I mean,
I mean,
UST is a great
honestly,
medical program. I'm not gonna lie. And my mom
Yeah.
keeps saying
yeah.
it's like one of the best in the country. So yeah, still,
Ateneo
But
is
then,
really more in the MD, MBA, managing hospitals and stuff. Yeah.
they're good at teaching people to manage things. It's just,
yeah, but then it's like it goes down for me. It's boiled down to choosing like for your future
yeah.
or choosing where your mental health will be so much better. And that's why like until now I'm like like sometimes like as much as I'm enjoying what I'm learning, there are a lot of times I'm like, okay, that's what I missed out on. That's another thing that I don't get to experience anymore. Or like, it's like a door closed and you see all the
Wait,
people on the other
are you
side
sure it's a
having
door
fun.
closed?
Yeah, have
Are
you
you,
ever
Yeah,
considered transferring?
I have, but I can't. And that's why it's a door closed.
why?
I can't.
Why can't you?
I don't know why, because well, for one, yeah, the whole future thing. But then another thing is like it's such hassle for
No, but
my parents.
future isn't all about
You could
what you
commute from
study. Kasi
Espanya to
Ateneo
UP.
is, yeah, that's true. And also Ateneo has one of the best organization lives there. And organizations really help in your career building. So like people who hire you
But the
actually look at your extracurricular as well.
but the thing is, me to not be an organization person. Like as much as I will try to delve into that and try to join things, I don't think I would be as invested in it as my academics.
Oh yeah, I
And
So
see
with
that.
that, like when I see JC, honestly, with what you're studying, I'm not interested in any of those. Like
Same.
I'm so done with physics. I'm so done with chemistry. I can't do that anymore.
Mhm.
mm.
That's why I have so many extra code to distract me away from academics. So, yeah.
So your decision making when choosing what you wanted to do in college was course over school or program.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
Oh,
future. Cause honestly, yeah, UST is really the best with pre med.
I mean, are you sure you're going to
Like
med school?
no, but did what if you passed in UP? Because I didn't pass UP. I've gone to UP.
no,
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't pass UP. But like either way, isn't UST like still considered better than UP?
I don't know.
Um,
You can say that, but
Divided opinions.
nothing beats free tuition. You know?
No, in terms of like med, like statistics
Yeah,
wise, I think that UST is really like number one.
yeah, China
Depends.
number one. Yeah.
I think it depends on the subspecialty because there could be lots of radiologists who pass from UST, but then you could say that UP might have a better radiology program. So it's kind of subjective. It's kind of hard to like gauge. But
That's true.
UP has free tuition. It's something
Yeah,
hard to like let go. It could be.
it's extremely competitive though. That's the price of paying for free tuition.
Yeah, and did you know you get 7K allowance per month? No, you
If you
don't.
have a scholarship, yeah,
If you have a
that's a different.
scholarship, never mind. Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
Nadia.
it's not. Yeah.
But like, even so, I've heard that the culture in UP is more or less similar to USD. What do you guys think of that?
Oh, I don't think so. No,
I heard from,
UP's.
I think, Carla, like how she was having a hard time. Like she had a group of people, but then mostly like people she was able to vibe with.
Oh yeah. Actually,
I
I
mean,
have no idea.
me
I'm
too.
way too sheltered.
I think UP, because I've passed UP a few times, and I know a lot of people. UP has like it's more of self-aware, because I feel like people from UST are aware to a certain extent about things, but they're more enclosed in Manila, whereas UP has so many campuses and they understand that there are many things that can happen. No, not happen. Like there are many places where people come from, and they can understand more perspectives. But I don't think it's right to say that UP and UST have the same culture because, first of all, one's not a Catholic school, so there's no
Mm,
religion,
yeah, there's the
religious
big
class.
difference there.
So there's no
And in
forced
UP,
religion.
you
Yeah.
don't have dress codes in UP.
Okay, but then just because, if you think about it, like just because USD is a Catholic school doesn't mean the people in it
Are Catholic.
entirely
Yeah.
entirely embody the Catholic
Yeah,
principles.
but do you still
People.
somehow feel oppressed?
Not, okay, yeah. One time I went into the campus wearing leggings, and the guard was like,
Yeah.
"You can't go in. You're gonna be."
Oh
So it's like,
man.
oh,
It
Help.
sucks.
so I had to go back home
It sucks.
and change.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could say that maybe UST has a more conservative culture, and UP has a
UP's
more
liberal.
a liberal culture. And
No, but mostly because they have to be like, okay. There's this other story that one of our profs told us. Like, there's a lot of stories that our profs share that shows how like some USD students really aren't Catholic. They don't show it. Um, they had a retreat, and then this group of students they went out, and then they decided to buy like drinks, and then they were trying to like bribe the guard to let them in.
mm,
But then the guard was like, "No, I can't let you." Like, yeah. And then the the profs arrived, I think, and then the students were like trying to pin the blame on the guard,
oh no,
like
For
that.
what?
Like I don't know that the guard was gonna accept the bribers. I don't even know. It was just weird. But then it was something. Basta. It's just some of them. They're just because of the rules. They don't follow the rules.
yeah,
And so I don't think all of them fit into that culture either. Does that make sense?
you could say.
That's a lot of
UST is
words.
like a mishmash because you have, I think, the most students in like per square meter in this year at least for schools because you have like what 22K students on
Yeah,
that.
I think they accept.
So a lot of people are there, and you know they're coming from different places, and lots of people come from different cultures, and you can't say that. Oh no, it's true. You know, it's hard to like say that that it's a Catholic. Even despite being a Catholic school, there should be Catholic students who embody Catholic ideals, but it's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad. But you know, there are stereotypes. There's a reason there are stereotypes for UST, Ateneo, UP, and as we like grow and meet new people, I think you know we get more understand why these stereotypes exist. Like I knew you were trying to say something about Ateneo being elitist, or your friends were talking about that. Were they? No.
Did they mention that? No
Yeah.
naman.
Oh, yeah, they tend to like
Generalized.
point me out as rich because I'm from Ateneo.
Well, you
But
are.
that's okay.
Never mind, never
Oh,
mind.
That's another topic, another day.
yeah.
No, I mean you're comfortable, and we could say that, you know, but
Yeah.
we were not trying to like be super elitist about things. We like, I mean, we pride ourselves on our scholars, and there's a reason
Yeah.
why we accept so many and give so many grants. So you maybe that's it's an invalid argument, but we don't just stay on an ivory tower. You know, we go
Yeah,
down.
and at Ateneo we have immersions. Ateneo itself makes sure that its students get immersed with less fortunate people.
Like,
But then I think that's a pretty bad argument because I've
that is,
also, if we go back to grade 12 and our immersion, like, I don't think a lot of the people in my class were enlightened, like, oh, yeah, this is life changing. It was more like for the semester thing. Like, I
Oh,
don't think it touched people in a way that it should have.
well,
That's the
either
problem with
way, did you
immersion.
have to step in mud?
no, it's
What do you
grade.
mean?
It's grade 11.
Oh,
It's our
oh,
field trip.
right.
We had the field trip during grade 11 where we went to UP Los Baños. We had to plant rice and we had to step on mud.
That's true.
That was fun though, planting rice.
Um,
But it wasn't immersion.
Yeah.
It was more of
it was a
Oh, field trip.
farmer's thing.
field trip. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun.
I'm very sabok.
Okay,
Yeah, if you're
so
talking immersion, it's the one where yeah, you know what I mean, the CSIP.
Yeah,
Is that the word?
yeah,
yeah,
It's
CSIP.
wrong. But yeah, it's like it ended up making some people, instead of leading people to the right message, it became, oh, I'm so lucky I have what I have. Instead of, oh, I should give more to those who don't have.
Oh, I mean, immersion is not always about the second realization you said. It's still about opening your eyes to the less fortunate and however you take it in, what you see, it still poses a difference in what you felt before you did the immersion. And I think that's the point naman. It doesn't mean that you have to help. Just you had to feel the difference lang. And that counts for something din naman at least.
no, I think the primary purpose of the immersion was to expose you to
Yeah.
react what happened with because in QC most of them it's mostly middle class people, and when you're exposed to an environment where there's people who aren't who are less fortunate, you understand or like at least see how they're experiencing things. So I think at least you're exposed to it and
Yeah.
not as much as immersed. I think that's a better term, exposure.
I see.
So yeah, to wrap everything up, I think we should have. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
every end of the podcast we talk about, since the title is Breakfast Burrito, we talk about what things are, what the topics we talked about, how they are related to Breakfast Burrito. So I guess the first topic
Yeah. It's a
was,
tradition.
what was the first topic?
When I
How
was
Fran
reflecting
is.
about,
So Fran, how are you? And compare how you feel to a breakfast burrito.
One. Yeah, how do you
oh, I
feel
have
right
to
now?
compare.
No, not
Yeah.
compare.
Oh,
Maybe, oh yeah,
Or
sure.
like say how it
Relate.
gets related
Yeah.
to a breakfast burrito.
So how I feel
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Honestly, I'm very glad that I didn't sleep. Thank you, JC. But yeah, like I was supposed to because of all the stuff I had to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then I'm really like, this was really, what's the word?
Like a
Enlightening.
breakfast burrito?
Feel lightened.
Oh,
Oh.
like a
Less
breakfast burrito?
Like a
burden. No, you feel less
You have
burden.
to relate it to a breakfast burrito. That's the point
Oh,
of the
you just
show.
said, okay. Wait, breakfast burrito. I've never had a breakfast burrito. Is this
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
like
have
we've
it
never
either.
had the breakfast burrito. No, basically a
So
breakfast
is
burrito
this
has egg in it and like
yeah.
breakfast staples. But yeah,
and it's like El Chapo's?
it's a burrito.
No.
Just
Yeah,
a
that's a
burrito.
burrito.
A burrito.
Maybe if you ate El Chapo's in the morning, then it becomes a breakfast burrito.
It could be
Yeah,
anything
we
you
can
want it
talk
to be.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah. Can you tell our listeners what El Chapo's is and how it means to you? Maybe that's your breakfast burrito
Yeah.
takeaway for today.
Okay. Is El Chapo still open
Yeah.
even?
And
Oh, okay.
for
Well,
I
I've
takeout.
had
hope
a lot.
so.
Okay, I've got this.
I think they went bankrupt.
I've never had a bad experience with El Chapo's.
You have
And
the
so
same.
that's how I can relate it with this
Um,
breakfast burrito, in which I feel better after that experience. You know, like it doesn't matter
oh.
that it's just
How
maybe that was just
flattering.
food. It doesn't matter, like, for example, the burrito itself is just food, but then you feel satisfied. That's it. That's
It's
the
the
word.
people you eat with.
That's true. You haven't
Yeah.
eaten with anyone but your family for what? 3 months, 2 months.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. I need people, bro.
me too. We all need
That's
people.
it. Okay, there. That's it. I need the breakfast burrito
That's the
to feel
second.
better.
How can you relate a breakfast burrito to universities, different
UST.
universities,
University.
USTs, the
Yeah,
USTs,
like a
your
Catholic
academics,
breakfast burrito.
the UPs, your LaSalles. Yeah,
I think, okay. Um, seeing as I've never had a breakfast burrito, I would say that the the components may be the same. Is it?
Different. Oh, the
What's
same. Yeah,
different?
yeah.
The components may be the same, but then it's the seasoning that's different.
oh,
Oh, wow.
smart,
So
oh,
insightful.
smart.
Sagacious.
Yeah.
What was your last topic?
Honestly, I kind of zoned out.
I guess that's it. You talked about friends in school a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Fran, any shout outs and any
Yeah,
words you want to say before
because this
we end?
podcast is definitely gonna blow up. People will, you know,
Want to listen to us?
Well, if people do listen to this, then I just want to say that we are all in a crisis, and despite that, I hope that you guys, whoever's listening, can still have the time to keep in touch with your friends, because as troublesome as everything is, honestly, that's when you feel most light and
yeah.
less worried about
Yeah.
things.
Can you hear that, dear listener? That's some wisdom. Even if
Value
there's only
friends.
one of you, just to our one listener. Thank you.
Thank you. Any shout outs before we go? No?
No?
To the
Huh?
squad,
Yeah.
shout out to the
Oh,
squad.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh. Okay,
Anyway,
so that concludes our show for today. Thank you for listening. Once again, that was Francine San Jose, our special guest, and this is JC Berdine.
and this is Jose Luis Bautista. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time, maybe. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.